Man down! Man down! Up ahead, desperately trying to get to her husband, Tesla struggled to get through the masses. With her rounded belly, she was in danger of getting knocked over or injured in some other way. Jasper quickly came up behind her and, wrapping his arms around her, swung her off to the side and whispered in a hushed voice, "I'll get to him and determine his status. You stay here." She half buckled against him as he gently put her on her feet, out of the way of the chaos all around them. Then he turned and quickly fought his way to Mason's side. Mason, his eyes open, stared skyward, but it was obvious that he was in shock. Blood poured from the gunshot wound to his head, and Jasper caught a glimpse of shattered bone behind it. It seemed as if the bullet must have hit the bone, pushing the fragment outward and then traveling through to the ground somewhere behind Mason. "Somebody find the damn bullet!" Jasper barked, and others scattered. Frowning, Jasper dropped down beside another man, who was working on Mason. "Are the EMTs on the way?" The man, with his hand and a piece of cloth on Mason's head wound, gave a curt nod. "They are. We need to get him stabilized." He let his voice trail off. Jasper immediately checked over the rest of Mason. A bullet wound appeared on his lower abdomen. Jasper immediately ripped off part of his shirt, folded it quickly, and applied pressure to stop the bleeding from that wound, too. The other guy nodded at him in approval. "Nobody saw anything, of course," he said in a clipped tone as he turned to look at the crowd that still remained. Immediately, everybody nearby shook their heads. "From this angle, I would call it as a sniper atop that roof," Jasper said, pointing to the red building off to the side. "Get a team over there now." With that, several men took off. He hoped that others had heard the shots and were already pursuing the gunman, so that the guys heading there now were just secondary assistants. Now, Jasper heard the sirens of emergency vehicles racing toward them. He looked over at the other guy, realized it was Masters, and asked in a low voice, "Chances?" "It's Mason," Masters said curtly. "In other cases, not much chance. But it's him," he added, shaking his head. "And he's got everything in the world to live for," he murmured, as he cast a glance to where Tesla stood, still vertical but barely, as she stared out at the crowd, her face white, shock and fear evident in her gaze. "I've got this, if you want to deal with her," Masters offered. "I'll deal with her once we get Mason squared away with the EMTs," Jasper murmured. "You are family, aren't you?" He gave him a small smile. "Yeah, cousins by marriage." "That's family, and she'll need it." "She'll also need answers," he said, his voice determined. Masters frowned at him. "You're not active military, though, are you?" "I am, although not exactly with a popular division." "Oh shit, are you upstairs?" "Somewhat, yeah. Let's just say an unpopular department." He chuckled. "Still, that could be exactly what we need right now." Masters didn't say anything for a long moment. Then he nodded. "Let's hope not." The sniper must have balls of stone on him. Trying to fight back the fear overtaking his thoughts as he stared down at Mason, Jasper murmured, "And I'm sure he's long gone now." "Do you know something we don't?" "Not yet," Jasper glared around. "But you can bet I'll be hunting this one down myself." "I'm sure you will." Masters agreed, checking Mason's pulse yet again. "If you need a hand, you let me know." "I'll need a hand, guaranteed," he said, looking over at him. "This won't be a one-person job." Masters shifted his hand pressure on Mason's head wound, looking around to see if help was near. Lowering his voice, he asked, "Any idea what's going on?" "Not yet, but this was too well thought out. Somebody knew when he was flying in, what shape he would be in and where he was going next. So..." Masters sucked in his breath. "Are you seriously suggesting an inside job?" "I'm not saying anything," Jasper replied, his tone hardening as the paramedics arrived, quickly moving the two of them back so they could take over Mason's care. "I'll take Tesla to the hospital." Jasper noted her hovering close to the paramedics. "You better clean up first." "Tesla's tougher than that," he said with a shrug. "She won't give a shit about my being covered in blood. She'll just want to be with Mason," he said, turning toward her. "I'll clean up at the hospital." And with that, he raced to Tesla, who was now sitting on the ground, rocking, her arms wrapped around her belly, as she watched her husband get loaded onto a gurney. As Jasper approached, she took one look at him and winced. He nodded.